In 2007, in an unprecedented move, UPDF soldiers moved into Somalia to salvage what was left of a country that was, for all intents and purposes, a failed state. The deployment was a dangerous, deadly gamble. A stroll through Mogadishu's streets reveals marks of a force that could be on its way to ending the violence that has ravaged the war-torn country.
This is the first efforts the UPDF put on ground, with the forces that eventually followed it. Burundi, Kenya, Djibouti, Sierra Leone, and Ethiopia. This is the transition. This is the phase that everybody knows that there was work done.
The intervention no doubt came with dire consequences like death for the troops. The number of casualties from the conflict that has lasted 9 years is still unclear. But Uganda suffered the biggest blow when in September 2015, the Al-Shabaab attacked Ugandan troops at the Janale base and killed 12 UPDF soldiers. One soldier is still missing. With time, the UPDF contingent liberated and took charge of key installations like the international airport, the seaport, the presidential palace, and securing the presidency. Somalia is not yet fully liberated, but the peace enjoyed in many parts of the country has been credited to the presence of peacekeeping missions under the auspices of the African Union and the United Nations. The presence of AMISOM was expected not only to help pacify the war-torn country, but also empower the Somali National Army to morph into a fully fledged state institution. In April 2016, the Somali National Army marked 56 years of existence, but there is nothing much to show for this longevity.
They have to ensure a full reorganization and re-establishment of the SNA, the Somali National Army. Re-establishment means putting them into camps, putting them in into a certain organization there where they can be accountable.
Instead of the military, we have militias. Militia playing loyalty to warlords. Warlordism from point A to B. So that's the problem. You need a Somali National Army that is acceptable by the people all over Somalia.
Even after 9 years of AMISOM, the Somali National Army is taking baby steps yet again in the rebuilding effort. The force is grappling with several challenges, including the defection of new recruits, building the capacity of commanders, registration of personnel, among others.
We have trained over 5,000 Somali national forces, but we did not train the leadership. We had a few leaders, and we need to augment because there is a problem of command.
Armies are built during peacetime so that they can be used during wartime. Here we are in the wartime. On one hand building the army, on the other hand fighting. So because of that environment, because of that condition, there are certain weaknesses here and there.
When NTV interviewed President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, he acknowledged the missing gaps, but was quick to add that the efforts are being made to rebuild the army.
Somali National Army is there. Yes, they are small in number, they are less equipped, maybe they are less trained, we can say, but they are there in the battlefield and they are fighting, and that's what's meant for an army to do.
As Somalia prepares for the general elections, the UPDF that has been tasked with guarding the 21 presidential candidates will also man key polling stations in the capital Mogadishu during the elections.
No country can claim to be independent, sovereign, when its president is being guarded by foreign troops. If we want to be serious as Somalis, if we want to be taken seriously as a country, we must understand that our national armed forces should be at the forefront.
The strength of AMISOM forces, both the police and the army, stands at 22,126. Uganda has the largest number of troops at 6,223, Burundi 5,432, Ethiopia 4,395, Kenya 3,664, Djibouti 1,000, and Sierra Leone at 850. And yet, as AMISOM prepares to pull out of Somalia in 2 years, it appears the tasks still abound in training and professionalizing the Somali National Army so they can fully take charge of their country. Shiland Wucheri, NTV, Mogadishu, Somalia.